أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
سيدنا محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الحمد لله الحمد لله الذي جعل شهر ربيع الأول قلوب المؤمنين وتفى فيه أنظار المجوس كنائس الكافرين رد بقدومه أن أرجي إلى سماء مردة رد بقدومه أن أرجي إلى سماء مردة شياطين فسبحان الذي شرفنا بشهر الذي ولد فيه سيد المرسلين صلى الله عليه وسلم. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ولا نذير له ولا مثيل له الذي هو الواحد القهار مالك يوم الدين. ونشهد أن سيدنا وسندنا مولانا محمدا عبده وحبيبه الرسول الذي هو الشفيع مشفع يوم الدين صلى الله تعالى عليه وعلى وأصحابه وأزواجه ذريته الكرام وأتباعه وخلفائه راشدين المرشدين المهديين من بعدهم ووزرائه الكاملين في أهله خصوصا منهم أئمة خلفاء رسول الله العتاقين أمراء المؤمنين حضرة أبي بكر وعمر وعثمان وعلي ذوي القدر الجليل وعلى بقية الصحابة والتابعين رضوان الله تعالى عليهم أجمعين. أيها المؤمنون الحاضرون اتقوا الله تعالى وأطيعوه إن الله مع الذين اتقوا والذين هم محسنون. قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتاب منزل المرسل وما خلقت الجن والإنس إلا ليعبدون ما أريد منهم من رزق وما أريد أن يطعمون إن الله هو الرزاق ذو قوة متين. صدق الله تعالى ربنا الكريم. أيها المؤمنون الحاضرون السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Jumu'ah Mubarak, Maulid Nabi Mubarak to everyone, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Blessings of this holy month and holy Friday to be in every heart, in every home. Shaykh Abdul Haqq, Allah bless him. He wrote for today, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, إِنَّمَا عَلَى شَهْرَكُمْ هَذَا شَهْرُ رَبِيعِ الْأَوَّلِ وُلِدَ فِيهِ سَيِّدُ الْمُرْسَلِينَ. Know, O believers, that this month, Rabi al-Awwal, is the holy birthday of the Sayyid al-Mursaleen, the master of the messengers, Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. وَأَنْ ثَقَلَ نُورُ نُبُوَّتِهِ مِنَ الْعَدَمِ إِلَى حَبِيبِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ, who has carried the light of prophecy since Sayyidina Adam alayhi salam, as the beloved of the Lord of the worlds. فتبعوا سنة في الأقوال وأفعال حتى يأتيكم اليقين فإنه يشفع لمن سنته يوم الجزاء والدين. So follow his sunnah in word and deed until there comes to you certainty. al-yaqeen. I was following Shaykh Noor's advice and reading the khutbah before I came up to read it in front of people. I used to never mind, it'll be okay. Never was okay. That verse that Shaykh Abdul Haqq was reminding us of, وَأَفْعَالِ حَتَّى يَأْتِيكُمُ الْيَقِينُ. You have to keep up the worshipping until yaqeen comes to you. And there were some people claiming to be from Sufi ways or spiritual ways, saying it means when certainty reaches you, you don't have to worship anymore. You don't have to pray and do all those things because you reached a higher station. I was with Malana Shaykh, Allah bless him. I was lucky to be with him one time in Vancouver. And somebody arranged a conference at a university there. And it was the time for questions. And during the talk, I was noticing some strange people coming in. And one of them began to question Malana after the talk. He said, what does it mean to worship Allah until yaqeen, until certainty comes to you? He wants to catch him to saying, once you reach certainty, you don't have to pray. And he says, I know what you mean to say by that question. Yaqeen means maut, he says. All your life you have to do it. All your life you have to follow Rasulullah. Shaykh Nazim, it was 93 or 95 or 97, Allah knows how many years. I never saw him leaving any sunnah, anything. It was so difficult for him at the end to carry physically. He was doing everything. His spiritual station, was between him and his Lord. Same with all of us. Everyone has their rutbah or darajat or maqam, their level, their station. Each one of us has a private world that we live in. Each one of us is in their world, different from the others. Everyone has different concerns, everyone has different hopes, fears, everything. And all of us have to struggle in Allah's way with what He gave us, with our situation. Everyone has their situation. No one can see it. If you're driving on the highway, you see thousands of cars passing you, going in every direction. Each one of those drivers is in a different world, thinking something completely different, going somewhere different, thinking something, hoping something, angry, happy. Completely different. And we have to work. Afal. Fa'ili haqiqi, the absolute actor is Allah subhanahu. But we have to work according to our level. If we're on the level of yaqeen, okay, still you have to work. Prophet was on more than the level of yaqeen. And he, all his life, was doing so. He never stopped his duty with his Lord. And we have to continue also. Recite it often in this month, every time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed that ayatul karima to Prophet ﷺ made Prophet to speak it in his voice, saying to the people, if you would be loved by Allah, in kuntum tuhibbun Allah, fatabiyuni, follow me. Yahbibkum Allah. We have to follow our Prophet, always. Always. We don't know. We don't know what's written for us. And we don't know through which stations we're passing on our way. The safe way, the way of safety, is to keep the station of servanthood, always. The Shaykh said it was his policy to keep the Murids blindfolded, not to see visions and wonders and jinns and angels and prophets and this and that. He says, I like for my Murids to keep the station of servanthood, ubudiyah. If we took the blindfold off and they saw to which height they were taken, they would lose their way. Or some people, when they began to see visions of jinns and prophets and angels, or to see the future, or to know what people are thinking, they fell down because they began to think of themselves very big. Like the example being Fir'aun. I am the greatest one, but Allah is the greatest one. And all of us are nothing. At any moment, we can, no matter what you reach, you can. There is a hadith. Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, radiallahu anhu, he was sitting by Kaaba Sharif one day, crying, weeping. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam came by and saw him. Oh, Abu Bakr, what happened? Are you not happy to be Siddiq, to be Thaniya's name, to be high stations? And Abu Bakr, he turned to Prophet and said, Ya Rasulullah, what's to stop Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from withdrawing all that in a moment, and leaving with nothing, leaving me as nothing? Belongs to Allah, all of it. And I'm also belonging to Allah. He can do as He likes with it. And Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he began to cry too, and he sat with Abu Bakr, both of them crying. You can never think you became something. One of the great characteristics of Maulana Shaykh, he kept his murids to be like that, and he was behaving also as a servant. Simple. Prophet said, I eat as a servant, I sit as a servant, to keep the distinction between the Lord and the servant. Keep servant. People are losing their ways on that point. They stepped over the bounds and began to think they were great ones, or the greatest one. Shaykh Nazim, he said to me, the secret target of every ego is to declare itself God. Allah. Every ego is like Fir'aun, like Nimrud. They want to declare like that. Only we don't get the chance mostly. Allah didn't give us that chance. Life slaps us down to our regular size. Only some few people went all the way to show us, this is your ego, O people. Look, I let this one go without limits. Now look what was their end. Fir'aun was claiming to be the greatest one. He gathered his armies, and in the distance they saw a cloud coming. What's that cloud coming? A cloud of like mosquitoes, or smaller than mosquitoes. coming on his army. All their weapons were useless. Coming into the ear of Nimrod, beginning to eat, until it began to eat his brain. He called his captain of the guards to beat him with his hammer until he passed. Fir'aun, claiming to be the greatest one, was drowned in the Red Sea. And when he saw the punishment, he said, "Now I believe." The God of Musa wa Harun. Too late. Too late. هل ينظرون يأتي يوم ملائكة يأتي ربك ويأتي بعد يأتي ربك يوم يأتي بعد يأتي ربكم أينفعون forgive me. Are they asking to see Allah and His angels coming through the clouds, trailing glory, cloud trains of glory? The day they see it, if they didn't believe it beforehand, it's too late. The day they see it, it's too late if they didn't believe first. All of us, we have to keep our servanthood as much as we can until yaqeen come. And even then you keep your servanthood, because it's not only one level. Awliya, they pierced the hijab, the veil of the unknown, to move into another world. And they didn't stop there, they kept going. They kept going. Endless worlds. Prophet reached to Kaaba saying, O Adna. O Adna means endless. He didn't come to a door or a throne and sit there and say, I reached the Lord. Endless opening, endless, that no one can imagine it. Continues forever. Never stopping. And they're keeping their servanthood. And awliya following prophets, raised to unimaginable levels. You can read their stories or hear their tales, and yet they kept their servanthood always, through everything. It's enough for us to be servants. And it's enough for our Lord to raise His servants as He likes. I read a book, I was saying to Hussein yesterday. He gave me a book from a bookshop in Montreal one time. I have it in Chicago, sitting next to the bed. The dua that receives an answer. And he has so many dua. Recite like this, recite like that. And he said, at the end, he gave a short wasiya, will, to his readers. He says, I'm asking you, all my readers, on my sake, read every day 2 rakahs. Rabbuka after Fatiha, Rabbuka yakhluqu man yasha wa yakhtar. Ma kana lahu khiyar. Subhanallah ta'ala amma yushrikun. And then a few Surah Kafirun, Surah Ikhlas. Your Lord chooses for you as He likes. No choice do you have in it. It's a verse that broke the heads of ulama trying to understand. It's Quran. Allah chooses as He likes. You can start to find so many meanings. He sets the laws, you don't set them. Okay, but there's more. As He likes. You have no choice in the matter. We didn't choose to be born. We didn't choose when we're going to die. And we didn't choose how we're going to be raised up again. We're servants. We're servants. We don't know anything. As Mulana Shaykh said, he pointed to the sun. Where is it? We're in a huge mystery. We don't know anything. We're arguing for this and that and this and that. They're arguing for Pennsylvania, for instance. Where is Pennsylvania? No one knows. No one knows. Science is moving. Earth is moving around its axis, orbiting around the sun. Sun is moving through Milky Way. Milky Way is moving among galaxies. Galaxies are moving among Allah knows what. At what speed? We are where we were yesterday, or an hour ago, or 1 minute ago. We never came here before. Where is here? We don't know. Oh, you who are so certain to argue about this point or that, but who are you? Where are you? We don't know. So what we're going to fight about? We're asking to know something. We were put into this life to know something. They asked Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, all this month is his holy Mawlid sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What's the best shugul or tijara? What's the best trade for a person? And the Prophet said, Ma'rifatullah. It's not a trade. It's not a knowledge of Allah. Knowledge in Allah. Knowledge through Allah. Knowledge with Allah. Knowledge of yourself. This is our job. This is our important thing. And no one from politicians is saying that to people. Saying this and that and this and that. And no one's saying, oh people, your job is Ma'rifatullah. Try to get it before death comes. Lock yourself in your houses so you don't die from the virus. What if we did or what if we didn't? Pity is if we didn't get that knowledge before we died. Let us be afraid from that. But no one thinking about it. May Allah grant us the blessings of this day. Imam is crazy, he doesn't know what he's going to say. Says something. على أحسن الكلام وبلغ النظام كلام الله الملك العزيز العلام كما قال الله تبارك وتعالى في الكلام وإذا قرئ القرآن فاستمعوا له وأنصتوا لعلكم ترحمون أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وما أرسلناك إلا رحمة للعالمين صلى الله عليه وسلم. الحمد لله حمد الكاملين والصلاة والسلام على رسولنا محمد وعلى وأصحابه أجمعين تعظيم لنبي وتقريب لفقامة شان شفيع فقال عز وجل من قائلا مخبرا وآمرا إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا محمد خاتم الأنبياء والمرسلين وأخر العرب والأجم مولانا والمولى العالمين مكترمين سيدنا بالقاسم محمد يا أيها المشتاقون لنور جماله ترجون الشفاعة صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وآل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيد إبراهيم وآل سيد إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد وبارك اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما بارك على سيد إبراهيم وآل سيد إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ونبينا مولانا محمد السيد الأولين والآخرين توب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم إنك على كل شيء قدير وإجابة جدير اللهم اهدنا من فضلك فيما هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا واصرف عنا شر ما قضيت فإنك تقضي ولا يقضى عليك وإنه لا يذل من وليت ولا يعز من هديت وسلم. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. واغفر لنا ولإخواننا الذين سبقونا بالإيمان ولا تجعل في قلوبنا غلا للذين آمنوا ربنا إنك رؤوف رحيم. وانصرهم عدوك وعدوهم يا أرحم الراحمين. فبجعل من لدنك وليا وجعل من لدنك سلطانا نصيرا وكان حقا لنا نصر المؤمنين. وافتح أبواب السداد بأيدي مدد. إن الله لطيف بالعباد. يا غارة الله يا غارة الله يا غارة الله أدركونا يا غارة الله وقضي دابر القوم الذين ظلموا والحمد لله رب العالمين. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون.